What's up, guys? Welcome to my replay viewers. Thank you guys so much for jumping in, checking out my broadcast. Sorry I missed you live, but so glad you guys took some time to check it out. What is up to my live crew this morning? Great to see you all this morning, and so glad to have you here. I appreciate y'all coming out to hang out with me on this spectacularly delightful Friday morning. Paul, what's up, man? It's nice to see your bald head in this broadcast today. Appreciate you, buddy. Kat, what's up, girl? Thanks for coming in. I'm glad you decided to still talk to me after yesterday. And Jackie, good morning to you. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Y'all are amazing. Brian and Adam, I see you guys. Alexis, good morning to you. Maria, thanks for coming in. I know it's nice to see you. I haven't seen you in a while. And Amanda, good morning to you as well. Y'all are amazing. I appreciate you. Bald crew in the house representing today, Paul. I appreciate you. Listen, y'all, I'm going to give you guys some secrets today. I'm going to pull this straight out of the confidential file today. Does that sound good? I'm going to give y'all, listen, this is probably one of the most valuable things that I can teach you in the world. And I tell you what, I am on a mission, y'all, to make you some money. Can I do that for you, please? I'm on a mission to help you make some money and to leverage your gift and to engage with your audience in the right way and just bring in some coin to bless you. I'm ready for harvest season for you. I'm ready for you to start collecting a return on all the seeds that you have been sowing. So I'm going to give you my exact process. I'm not going to leave nothing out. This ain't no webinar where you sit there for an hour and hear 45% of the information and then the other 55% they try to sell you at the end. I'm not selling you nothing. I'm just going to give it all to you. I'm just going to tell you today my exact process for how I turn social media interactions into paying clients. I'm going to do that. I'm just going to give it all to you. And I tell you what, y'all, I dare you to apply what I teach you today. I dare you. I dare you to sort through all the noise of all the busy that all the things you've been trying. I dare you to cut through all of that and go right into this strategy and do it. Follow it to a T and watch it increase your bank account. Just watch it. I dare you. Shirley, what's up, girl? Thanks for coming in. So you better have some coffee or some, I don't know if tea's going to do it today. You better need some coffee. And you better have some pen and paper because you better be ready to take notes, right? Don't show up to one of my broadcasts without the ability to take notes. Let's go, y'all. We're going to do this. Hang tight. Let me introduce myself. Hold on. All right, y'all. Justin Kaplan Pro is my name. JustinKaplanPro.com is my website. I'm a startup business mentor and a branding strategist that specializes in helping startup entrepreneurs turn your passion, your gifting, your ideas into a profitable and scalable brand, leveraging the power of social media marketing. If you are new to me, welcome. You landed in the right broadcast today. And you're going to learn something amazing. I'm going to hook you guys up with my exact process for how I turn social media interactions into paying clients. This is how I do what I do. This is how my business is run. This is where my clients come from. And it works. I wouldn't tell it to you if it didn't work. Good morning, Jamie. Thanks for coming in, buddy. Shirley's got some tea. I think I might do it. You want to know something funny? You want to just know something funny real fast? So last night, I always set up my coffee pot the night before so that my timer comes on and so my coffee's nice and hot and delightful in the morning when I come down in the morning. And it was a little late last night when I was preparing my coffee. And so Courtney and I were getting ready to go to bed and we'd already turned the lights off in the kitchen. And this is not Jamaican Blue today, Jackie. This is my Mackinac Island fudge coffee. But the funny story about this is that the lights were off in the kitchen and I was making the coffee pot and I just grabbed the coffee grounds bag and just kind of shook it in there, thinking that I had the ability to judge the amount of coffee grounds that needed to go in there without really seeing it. And my coffee came out like black tar today. I think I put too much coffee in there. This stuff will put hair on your chest, man. Whoa. It's like cowboy coffee. You ever had cowboy coffee? Where they they cook it like right over the fire and then just they give it to you and it just kind of plops in the cup. Whew. So if I drink more water today than coffee as I give you all this gold, you know what's up. Yeah, it's some woo. I took one drink. I'm like, whoa, that's not going to do it. So I got a new pot brewing that'll be ready to save me once this is over. It's like jail coffee, Paul. Right? It's something. It's like something. I don't know. So I may not be partaking too much in that. So cheers, cheers. I cheers me with my water cup this morning. All right, let's get to it, shall we? I'm gonna change your life this morning. Hi, Angela. It's nice to see Angela this morning. Good morning. Maddie's had cowboy coffee. I mean, I've had some good cowboy coffee, but boy, most of the time it's like, whoa, man, holy cow, dang. All right. So we're going to talk today about my exact process for how I convert social media interactions into paying clients. I'm going to give you 13 steps today. That's a lot to cover, but I'm going to tell you step by step exactly what I do, how I do it, and the order that I do it. And Kim Wendy's been here. Good morning, Kim. Kim's heard me talk about this before, and Kim will tell you this is probably one of the most valuable things that I teach because you know what? Some people would say that I'm crazy. Some people will say that I'm crazy for teaching this because basically what I'm teaching you today is I am teaching you today how I get you to pay me. It's exactly what I'm teaching you today. And you'd be like, he's crazy. He's giving you secrets. I have no problem teaching you how I do what I do because there's the reason why. There is nothing in my process that's salesy. I'm not a salesman. I'm a servant. I serve people for a living. I don't sell stuff for a living. I serve people. So there's nothing in my process that it's salesy. So for those guys that are thinking, oh man, I really have a hard time selling myself. Good. I'm glad because I don't teach you how to be salesy. The second piece is there's nothing in my process that's manipulative, sneaky, or pressuring. I don't pressure cook people. I don't manipulate people. I don't tell people what they want to hear so that they'll come and hire me and have buyer's remorse later. My process is genuine, it's powerful, and it's effective. And so that's why I'm going to teach it to you because even though I'm going to teach you this process, you're going to look back those guys that have paid me and paid me lots of money. You're going to look at this and you're going to be like, dang, I think that's about how I got to him. That's about how I eventually ended up hiring him. And I'll tell you what, there's nothing better than having a prospect that you connect with eventually become a paying client, and then they thank you for allowing them to pay you, and then they're so excited to work with you, and it's a beautiful relationship because they don't have buyer's remorse. You didn't manipulate them to get there, and you just serve them. You serve them well. And I appreciate that. Kim says it's the most awesome process I've ever heard. I appreciate that. So let's get into it. 13 steps. I'm going to have to go through these quickly because there's a lot to cover. And I'm just going to talk you step by step through exactly what I do and how I do it. Cheers and good morning. I hope your morning beverage is delicious. Whatever that is, it's in your cup. And I hope your Friday has been delightful and sunny so far. Number one is choose your platform. Now, the reason why I say this is because when you get yourself in a mode of wanting to attract paying clients, you got to decide where am I going to hone in on these people? Where do I want to be excellent? Where do I want to excel? Where do I want to focus my best? Now, I'm not telling you that if you choose your platform that all other platforms need to go away. So maybe you're currently doing video on Facebook and you're doing stories and posts on Instagram, and maybe you're dabbling a little bit with TikTok, and maybe you're making some YouTube videos, and I don't care. That's fine. You can do all of that if you want to. However, if you are in a season and in a mode where you are wanting to attract paying clients, you need to decide for yourself where is the absolute best place that I have a chance to attract those paying clients. What platform are they on? And then I am going to focus a significant part of my energy, if not all of my energy, on that platform to engage those people. And then everything else becomes secondary. Okay. And I'll tell you this, when I first started my business, before I really figured this out for myself, I was everywhere all the time. I actually had the first coach I ever hired told me that the only way to build a brand online is to be everywhere all the time. Anytime anybody opens up a social app, they need to see you there. And so I was on Instagram, Facebook Business. I was on Twitter. I was on Pinterest. I was on YouTube. I was doing everything everywhere. And it was exhausting. Somebody put exhausting in the chat stream because I know y'all can relate to this, where you've tried juggling all these different platforms. And then I landed on Periscope, and Periscope was the first ever live stream platform. And then I monetized my first sale on Periscope in 11 days. Sold a branding package for $500 to someone who'd watched 2 broadcasts from me, and that $500 that I made on Periscope was more than I had made on any of the other platforms in months and months and months. 11 days, bam! I'm like, whoa, that's crazy. And so I realized real quickly that I had an opportunity on that one platform. I had a gift with video, and I'm like, I need to go all in on this. So I quit everything else. I quit Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn. I wasn't even posting on Facebook. I'm going to go all 100% of my focus and energy on Periscope because there is potential here, and I believe I can leverage it. And I gave it 100% of my energy and attention until I mastered it. Now, I say that, and I want you to get that. All right. I gave Periscope and I gave live video 100% of my attention until I mastered it. And I did not add Facebook, which was my second platform at the time. I did not add Facebook back into my social mix until I had mastered Periscope so well that it wasn't stressful or exhausting or difficult for me to be consistent with it. Okay. So I'm telling you this, y'all. Listen, some of y'all are a little bit too everywhere all the time. And some of y'all haven't figured out what your specific platform is, what your place is that gets the clients, that has the potential. So this is not about where other people say you should be or where everyone is saying is the top trending platform right now. This is a matter of what is the best type of content you share, because that's important. Because if you like, like I think about my girl Jamie Kirshner. Jamie Kirshner has found her sweet spot in podcasting. Podcasting is her platform. That is her baby. There is nothing that she will do on any other platform that will cause her to not be consistent with the podcast, because the podcast is super crucial. For me, it's live video, and so live video is just it's my gift. It's my thing. I do podcasts, I do recorded video, I do all the different things, but lives is where it's at for me. And so I love that. Kim Wendy says, don't let anyone should on you. I love that. Love that so much. Thank you for sharing that. So, um, I live video has always been my sweet spot for content. So for me, I'm always analyzing where is the absolute best place for me to be sharing my live videos. Where's my best opportunity to engage an audience of people that will pay attention to me? All right. Very important. So choose your platform is number one. I unpacked that. I wanted to give a few minutes to that because it's important. I want you to understand why it's important to decide on one specific platform, because you've got to be able to really get good at that one platform. Okay. Number two is specify the audience that you want to engage. All right. Now, we're not going to set and have a huge target audience conversation this morning. I've teach this in length lately. But again, I just want to remind you that your target audience does not have to be complicated. You do not have to fill out some crazy target avatar sheet. You do not have to go through figuring out where they went to school and what their medical history was their second cousin, and you don't have to figure out all that stuff. Ask yourself, who do I best serve? Who do I best serve? All right. If you ask me who do I best serve, Justin, who do you want to work with? My ideal client is goal-driven individuals who have a very specific gifting that serves a very specific type of clientele, and they have a desire to build a business from it. That's it. Nothing else matters. If you are a goal-driven individual, meaning that you have goals, you have dreams, you have aspirations, and you are pursuing those, you are not lazy, you are not, I don't know how to go down there. But if you are a goal-driven individual, you have a very specific gifting that serves a very specific type of clientele, and you have a desire to build a business from it, I can serve you, and I can serve you well. I don't believe there's anybody else that can serve you better than me. I don't. I believe I'm the very best at what I do. That's who I serve. I don't care what color your skin is. I don't care if you're married, divorced, single, gender confused. I shouldn't joke about that, but it's really crazy. I don't care if you have kids. I don't care how old you are. I don't care what color your hair is. I don't care how long your fingernails are. If you are a goal-driven individual and you have a very specific gifting that serves a very specific type of clientele, I can serve you, and I can serve you well. Now, don't get me going, Paul. Now, I have explained this again before, but I'm going to explain this today because it's important. All right. So that's my target audience. Now, I understand that that is who I serve. Every client that I have is in here. All right. That is who I am. So, or that's who I serve. That would be Jamie. That would be Tasha. That would be Lynn. That would be Maddie. That would be Paul. That would be Kim. All you that's who you are, right? So number two is we're talking about specify the audience you want to engage. So that is my ideal client. That is my target audience. However, I also understand that within that ideal client target audience, there's variations. There's going to be different variations to the types of people. So, for example, I might have a stay at home mom who maybe she used to be a career woman and she's very career or business oriented. Totally just rubbed my laptop. Am I still here? There we go. That was close. Um, she maybe used to be career oriented, but she left her career to start a family, but now her kids are grown or nearly grown and left the house, and now she's ready to get back to something or get back to making some money, but she wants to do it from home. She wants to contribute to the finances of the household. All right. So that's one segment. Then I might have someone who's middle aged, who's worked in some job their entire life, maybe 20, 30 years, and they realize that they have a gift or an idea or an ability and they want to build a business from it. They want to start making a business for themselves. So that person is a different type of person than the stay-at-home mom. Or I might have a college kid that's fresh out of college with a degree and realizes that they can't get a degree or can't get a job in the field that they got a degree in, but they have an ability, they have talent, they're driven, and they want to start a business. All right. So I have to speak differently to the college kid versus the stay-at-home mom versus the middle-aged person who wants to start a business. But all three of those all are goal-driven individuals who have a very specific gifting that serves a very specific type of clientele and they have a desire to build a business from it. Right? Does that make sense? Put yes in the chat room if I'm making sense. So when I go back to this number two, is specify the audience that you want to engage. I know in general my business will always serve goal-driven individuals who have a very specific gifting, who serve as a very specific type of clientele and have a desire to build a business from it. When I'm working to attract paying clients, I have to get specific on what variation of my audience I am trying to narrow in on right now. In this season, am I really trying to engage and attract the stay-at-home moms who are empty nesters or who have kids that are out of school or whatever? Am I trying to engage the stay-at-home mom? Am I trying to engage the college kid? Am I trying to engage the middle-aged person who's ready to build a business? And that's important because you've got to think about the season that they're in. Right. So right now, the stay-at-home mom, maybe their kids haven't left the house yet, and they're out of school. It's summertime. They're doing family vacations, band camp. For me, band camp starting next week, and they're getting ready to go back to school. So moms are busy, 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 busy right now. So trying to get their attention and really get them to pay attention, lock into me, and invest in me right now is difficult because there's a lot going on. But the stay-at-home mom is a great person to engage in September after kids have gone back to school or off to college, and now she's got her house to herself and she can think to herself. So September might be a better time to engage her. Do I want to engage the college kid right now? Probably not. I mean, the college kid is more of I might want to engage him at the early part of the year as he or she is approaching their last semester of college. They're getting ready to graduate and wrap up. They're not sure what they want to do, and then trying to make plans for what's going to go on with the rest of my life. So I want to engage them in the middle, in the beginning of the year. So in the middle of the year, right now, maybe I want to attract more the middle-aged person who's currently working a job, hates their boss, hates their coworkers, hates their life, hates the alarm clock that goes off every morning, and they know they have a gift, they know they have the ability, and they're ready to build a business from it. They're ready to stop waiting and procrastinating and doubting their ability, and they're ready to go. Maybe I want to lock in on that person, right? So this is important to specify who exactly you're trying to serve. All right. Am I making sense? Put cheers in the chat room if I'm making sense. Cheers and good morning. I'm going to go for this coffee. Hang on. Whew. If you see me start to twitch, you know what my problem is. All right. So that's number two. Number three, let's keep going. Number three is I have now specified. All right. So let's say that I have, all right. So I've decided that I know who my global target audience is. I'm going to narrow in on the middle-aged folks that are ready to build a business for themselves. Okay. So let's say that's who I'm going for. Now, what I want to do, step three, is I want to outline their pain points. I want to think about where they're at right now. Today is July 30th. in 2021. So all you guys that are listening to this years later on YouTube or whatever, that's where we're at today. And yes, I did, Jamie. I don't want to get into that story, but yes, I did. And I haven't actually talked to him like in person yet, but I did connect to him, and I'm working on getting him to meet me. But yes, that's panning out well. Thank you for reminding me of that. So outline their pain points. So I want to think about this person now. All right, what are they dealing with? They are frustrated. They're probably feeling boxed in. Because I don't know about you, but if you've ever had a burning, like a desire to build or create something for yourself, but you have to go to a 9 to 5 every day, you have a boss that you hate, you have a schedule that you hate, you're missing your family, you work every weekend, you work every holiday, they're feeling boxed in. They're ready to experience some freedom. They're ready to create. This person is they are frustrated, but they're inspired. They are ready to do something differently. They have an itch to do something differently. They have questions. They don't know what steps to take or how to take them, so there's confusion in the mix. They might be having insecurity. They might be doubting their ability to even do it or even succeed in it. There might be fear involved of what if I really want to leave this security to go and build something on my own? So we got fear, we got insecurity, we got confusion. I think I said doubt. They got doubt. They've got they might have some external pressure. They might like maybe they've discussed this with some people in the past and people are like you couldn't do that. So there's peer pressure, positive or negative. There's a variety of things that this person is dealing with. And then I think about this season. All right. So what's going on in the middle of the year? They're halfway through the year. There's probably been a lot of pressure put on their business goals. Review time probably happened at the beginning of the year. They're probably a little bit frustrated by that for the 50-cent raise that they get every year. Another thing that I think about that middle-aged person, this is where you got to go with your target audience. All right. So I'm thinking, all right, what are they feeling? Another thing that might inspire this middle-aged person to go out and start building something for themselves is the fact that their friends and other people in their lives are taking family vacations right now. They're out at the lake. They're going on trips. Summertime is a popular time for vacation. So this person is watching other people live the lifestyle that they wish they had. They're coming into the fall when their kids are going to be starting sports and there's all this stuff going on and they know that they're going to miss those games. They're going to miss those events because they're going to always be stuck at the office. The holidays are quickly coming up. They have to work the holidays. So all these feelings are things that they're dealing with. So I'm processing all of that. And that's how I decide who exactly I'm working to target. And I have to think about where are they at? Okay. That's number 3. Number 4 is now you're going to decide your emotional triggers. Okay. So we took time to identify who exactly we're working to attract and what are they feeling right now? What are they dealing with right now? What's going on in their head? What's going on in their lives? What's their struggle? All right. So I've decided their pain points. Number 4 is I want to define my emotional triggers. And what my emotional triggers are is I want to intentionally decide what emotions do I want to intentionally trigger in them to offset their negative emotion. All right. The 3 that are my go to for just about everything, and sometimes they vary, but these are my 3 that are my go to for just about everything is vision, clarity, and confidence. Vision, clarity, and confidence. Vision's usually the last one. Usually it's clarity, confidence, and vision. So let me explain. With all of the content that I share, every video that I do, everything I teach, anywhere I teach it, I'm always working to give you clarity. That's why, I've been told often that I'm very good at unpacking difficult subjects and teaching them in very simple terms where you're like, oh, I get that. That makes sense. Like target audience. The target audience conversation is so confused. People teach that in so many different ways and it's so confusing. It doesn't have to be confusing. And so I take a difficult subject and I break it down into a very simple process. So everything that I teach, whether it's branding or marketing or business strategy or personal development, anything that I'm teaching, I always have a very specific thing that I'm trying to accomplish with you. in the time that I'm with you in a live video, my mission is to grab a subject that is going to be very, very important or valuable for you. And I want to teach it in a very simple process so that by the time I'm done with that video, you're like, wow, I get that. I can go apply that. Right. So clarity. And my mission is to give you clarity. The other thing that I work on giving you is I work on teaching you processes that you believe you can go apply. I want to give you actionable content, meaning that you can spend 30, 45 minutes with me in a video and learn something that's high value, get clarity on that subject, and then know exactly what you need to go do to go apply it. So I'm working on giving you confidence as well, clarity and confidence. And then along the way, I also instill vision. Those guys that are my clients, I'm a visionary, and I speak life into you. I speak vision into you. Those guys that have had that first phone call with me, what happens? You tell me a bit about you, and I'm like, oh, do you realize what you could do? And it's genuine because the Lord has given me a gift of vision. I can see a complex problem, and I can see where it needs to go and how we would go there. And so I just start unloading on you vision. This is what I see. This is where I think we can go. This is how we would get there. This is how you would do this. This is how it would pan out for you. And that right there alone is a significant reason why people hire me, is because I'm a visionary and I can brainstorm things with you that most people can't, and I can show you the path the way most people can't. And so clarity, confidence, and vision. Think about that for a second. Think about if you are stuck. Let's just park here for a minute. I want you to think about this, all right? So imagine you're that middle-aged person. You're stuck in a job that you can't stand. You have a boss that you hate. You're frustrated with the way your lifestyle is. You're missing out on so much of your family stuff, but you want to build a business. You want to step out on your own, but you're scared. You're nervous. You're insecure about whether it's possible. You've got people telling you that it's not possible. You're doubting whether you could really survive. You're afraid of losing the consistency of your income. There's all these feelings going on. And then you connect to Justin and you start watching this guy. And all of a sudden he starts giving you clarity. Oh, okay. So that's ways that I could generate revenue short term and long term. That's how I would present myself online. That's how I go about the process. I got clarity. And then I start getting some confidence. I could do that. Even as I'm working my job, I could take that and I could start applying some of these things and start seeing some results right now while I'm still working my job. Now I'm getting some confidence. And then you listen to a few more videos of Justin. Now I got a vision. I could see how this could pan out. I see how this is possible. I could really do this. What happens if you get clarity and then you get confident and then you get a vision for what's possible? What happens? You step forward into that, right? Those are triggering emotions. All right. So, again, going back to this number 4, decide on your emotional triggers. You want to intentionally decide based upon the pain points that you outlined what emotional triggers I want to inspire people to offset their negative emotions, because clarity is going to offset your overwhelm, your frustration, and your fear. Confidence is going to offset your insecurity and your doubt and all the peer pressure that you're getting. Vision is going to offset the fear that you have that you're not going to be able to make it. Fear is going to offset your worry about not having consistent income. Vision is going to give you a drive to go out and create a lifestyle that you desire. Right? So clarity, confidence, and vision for me are going to offset pretty much every negative emotion that you're feeling. And what happens when you experience those emotions, it makes you want to step forward. I got to go to Justin's website and learn more about what he does and how he does it. I got to figure out what that investment looks like so I can start saving my money. I got to see if I can get on a strategy call with him and talk to him about, how this would work out. I got to go and download some of his free resources and see if I can just get the wheels going on this thing. I got to watch more of his videos. Does that make sense? Put yes in the chat stream. I'm only on step 4 right now, but this is powerful. Those first 4 steps are essential. And if you get those first 4 steps right and you get good at them and you get consistent at them, this is when you wake up in the morning to an inbox full of messages of people asking you for more information. This is when you start seeing people come and be loyal to you. This is when you have a loyal following of people that'll show up at 8 o'clock every morning to watch your video, no matter what you're talking about, because they know you're going to give them something good today. All right. Those 4 things are crucial. That's probably the most important 4 pieces of this puzzle, okay? Choose your platform, choose your audience, outline their pain points, and decide your emotional triggers. All right. Now, let's go to number 5. Number 5 is develop core content. Okay. Now, core content, I'm developing core content based upon what I have discovered and who exactly I'm talking to. Okay. So if I am talking to the middle-aged person and I've outlined all their pain points and I wrote down that one of their issues is they're not sure how they could even begin the process of starting to build a business while they're still working in this other job. They just don't know how that would even be possible. So they're doubting whether it's possible for them because I can't leave my job if I don't have a plan. But how do I, how do I start a business while I'm still working this job? All right. So this is the thing, Kim. So Kim says I struggle with coming up with content. Your content is developed specifically from the pain points that you outline. That's why that point is so powerful. I've got to take time to ask myself the questions. What are these people feeling? What are they struggling with? What questions do they have? What are they trying to figure out? So if I know that one of the problems that this person has is that they're working a job, they're probably working 50, maybe 60 hours a week, maybe. They have limited time. They're trying to spend that time with the family. So how the heck do I start a business on the side while doing this? All right, I can help you with that. That's very real. So let me come up with 3 ideas. I'm going to give you three ideas for how you can start up a side hustle if you're still working a full-time job. And I could give you some ideas for that. Some simple things, some steps that you can take because even if they're small steps, steps forward are still steps forward. So if I know that that is a specific struggle, maybe all right, so this is what I'm going to do is maybe I'm going to come up with a weekly theme. My theme this week is I want to talk specifically to that middle-aged person and I want to get them inspired to start taking some steps forward. So I'm going to do one in this, and let me just park here for a second. So in my notes, I wrote down here, step number 5, develop core content. I'm going to tell you something, and some of y'all aren't going to like this, but I'm going to tell it to you anyway. I highly encourage you to share 3 pieces of core content every week. Minimum. That's 3 valuable and engaging ways that your audience can connect to you, learn from you, and be inspired by you. Core content. All right. Now I'm talking about good, meaty core content. Going back to your platform, whatever platform you chose, if it's video, whatever it is, I'm just challenging you. I'm not telling you that this is only successful if you do 3. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that I challenge you 3 a week. So if you want to do live videos, you think live videos on Facebook is where it's at, you need to do 3 videos a week. I think about those guys that are podcasters. If you're going to post, let's say 1 podcast a week, all right, do 1 podcast a week and then maybe do 2 live videos a week to support the podcast and give people that opportunity to connect with you outside the podcast. And I think that's powerful because they're going to want to see your face. They can't see your face on a podcast. So maybe you do 1 podcast a week and then 2 live videos a week on Facebook or wherever the platform is that you think you're going to engage with them. 3 a week minimum. All right. So back to how I would go about this. So again, I want to narrow in on the middle-aged person. Let's say I know that they're trying to figure this out. How do I get started? How do I get started on this idea of building a business? All right. So one day I'm going to do 3 tips for how you can start up a side hustle while you're still working a full-time job. That's 1 content. I'll go on and do a live video and have a discussion about that. My second video will be 5 things you absolutely must do at the beginning stage of starting a new business, no matter who you are. And I'll give you some tips on exactly what you have got to do to start up a business. And the third day, maybe I'll do beginner's guide to branding. 6 things you must do at the beginning stage of branding a new business. Those are 3 things. So all 3 things I just covered. All right, how do I actually start a business while still working a full-time job? The second would be what did I say? 5 things you must do to start up a brand new business, and then branding. So I'm talking about just how to get started, how to get going with branding, and I'm giving that person some inspiration. I'm not selling anything at this point. I'm just connecting. I'm just engaging. Jamie said that would be different than Reels if I'm on Instagram, correct? Would these be stories or IGTV? It's a good question, Jamie. Value. I'm thinking value. Just what I mean, you value. However you find that those girls engage with you, buddy, and maybe you ask them, it might be a great thing to ask these girls because my girl Jamie Kirshner does podcast weekly. Her podcast is amazing, Uncommon Teen, and she's connecting to teen girls. So teens are tricky because their schedule is a little different and their attention span is short. But you might connect with just some of these girls and be like, listen. So I put one podcast out each week. If you had the opportunity to connect with me throughout the week just to give you continual encouragement on the topic of the week, whatever your podcast was, what would be the best forum to do that? Would you like to see an Instagram post on a daily basis? Would you like to see an IGTV video? Would you like to be able to talk to me live on IG? Maybe do a live on Instagram. Maybe it's just reels, daily reels with some daily encouragement. You might need to ask your audience what that looks like and what they would be most apt to engage with. It could also, on the flip side of that, Jamie, maybe it's, your podcast is directed to your teens. Maybe do one video a week just for parents. Maybe go on Facebook and do a video speaking to parents about what the podcast topic was. And then you do something for Instagram for the teens to support it or something. I'm telling you, minimum 3 a week, y'all. So, and I like themes. I like themes because if you pick a theme, I find that if you pick a theme for the week, it tends to keep your content narrow and focused. For me, it seems easier to create the different days content if I'm in a general frame of mind. Also, it keeps your audience in the same frame of mind. And if people know that you're going to be given value on the same topic for a week straight, they're more likely to come to all of those experiences, right? So if I tell you that I'm going to be all next week, I'm going to be talking about specific tips for those guys that are trying to build a business, especially those guys that are working full-time jobs and trying to build something on the side. All next week, I'm going to give you the best tips I can give you to how to get that business started while still working your full-time job. If you know that I'm going to do 3 broadcasts next week that are all focused on that, you're more likely to put me on your calendar and show up for all 3. But if every one of my videos is completely different and geared towards a different audience, the likelihood of you hitting all 3 is a little bit more slim, right? So developing core content, minimum 3 per week. Okay. Am I making sense with the core content? Put yes in the chat stream if I'm making sense. My core content is developed specifically off the questions and the pain points that I identify. And I just ask myself, what are my people dealing with today? And honestly, this week has been focused on those of you guys that are trying to think about the back half of the year. Those guys that realize that the 7th month of the year just ended. You might be thinking about Black Friday is coming up quick. September is coming up quick. Back to school is happening. I'm ready to narrow in, drop in, and really start getting focused on my business. And you're thinking about, what do I need to do in this back half of the year to really crush this year, to really finish this year strong? So everything that I've been giving you this week is all about money. It's all about giving you specific steps and specific tips and specific action that you can take to generate more revenue in this back half of the year. It's revenue week. You're welcome. All right. Thank you, Shirley. I appreciate you. So developing core content is all about understanding what your person is that you're working to attract and creating content specific to the pain points that they have. Okay. So that's number 5. Develop core content, minimum 3 per week. Now let's go to number 6. Number 6 is to post conversation starters separate from your core content. All right. So conversation starters, this again, choose your platform. Conversation starters, I would also recommend a minimum of 2 to 3 per week. And what conversation starters are, let me explain this. Conversation starters is basically posts or questions that are going to get your audience talking to you. And this is the reason why. Especially Facebook. This is why I'm all over Facebook, and this is why I do this on Facebook. But it works for Instagram too. I post things on Facebook to get interactions. All right. To get engagements, to get questions. So you might do a post that's going to, you might ask a specific question. So again, again, if I am again, I'm working to attract this particular target audience, then I need to find out who is that person. So I might do a post and be like, curious minds want to know how many of my friends on Facebook are considering starting a new business in the next 12 months. I'd love to know. Or I might say, how many of my friends on Facebook are considering starting a new business in the next 12 months, or you have started a business in the past 12 months? I'd love to know. And I'm gonna have, and I might even say, tell us a bit about your business. Let's promote you or something. And I just want to get comments and interaction. So even if I don't say let's promote you, I probably would leave that out. I would say, let anybody who's thinking about starting a business in the next 12 months, I'd love to know. And I'm gonna get all these people, me, and I'll be like, awesome. And then I can respond to you. So let's say Lynn drops in and says, me, I'm thinking about starting a business. Awesome. Hey Lynn, thanks for commenting. Tell me about your idea. Do you have an idea? No, Justin, at this point in time, I'm just trying to figure this thing out. I'm learning a lot, I'm watching a lot. I'm just trying to blah 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 blah. And they give me some information and I can stir up this dialogue. All right. So what I want is I want people commenting on that post, and then I want to interact with their comments to create conversations in this post. The reason for this is because anytime you comment on someone else's post, you're basically telling Facebook, hey, Facebook, I like this person. I want to see more of their stuff. So as soon as you comment, what happens? Then you start seeing more of that person's content in your feed. You start seeing their videos, you start seeing their other posts. All right. This is why all of a sudden you're thinking to yourself, boy, I haven't seen Aunt Susie in a while. What's up with her? I haven't seen her in forever. She's still alive. And then you go to Aunt Susie's Facebook page and you find out there she is, and she's still alive and kicking, and she's still posting every single day, but you're not seeing any of her stuff. And you're like, that's weird. It's because you never interact with it. You never like it, you never commented on it, you never interact with her whatsoever. And so at some point in time, if you stop interacting with someone for a long enough time, Facebook will stop showing them to you. Facebook wants to show you the things that they think you are going to want to engage with. So as soon as you engage with someone, you connect or you comment on someone's post, Facebook automatically takes that as, oh, you like this person, let's show you more of it. So strategically, from a strategic standpoint, number 6, posting conversation starters. If I'm going to do a great live video tomorrow on 3 of my best tips for how to get a startup business started while you're working a full-time job, I want to get the right people in that video. So I'll do a post today, stirring up conversation today, and see if I can get these people who are thinking about starting up a business to be interacting with my conversation starter today, so that tomorrow when I go live, Facebook is very likely to put my video in their feed, and they're very likely to come in and watch that video. Right? So use conversation starters or engagement posts. Conversation starters don't always have to be questions. They can just be engagement type posts. All right. Just create the type of content that people are very likely to engage with. And usually, if you ask a question, that helps. So I want to do engagement posts today to promote video content tomorrow. That's how I work it. So, however, you want to do this in your own way with your own type of content, you want to use what I'm going to call bait posts to engage people and get people talking to you and engaging with you, so that when you put out your core content, you've already engaged the right audience of people, and that right audience of people is going to be very likely to come in and see your core content. Because if you go out and put core content out there without building up engagement ahead of time, your visibility is going to be much lower than if you stir up that engagement prior to putting out your core content. Does that make sense? Put yes in the chat room if that makes sense. All right. Post conversation starters, minimum 3 per week. All right. That's number 7. I didn't say it was going to be easy, but I'm telling you, this is what I do, and this is how I do it. And this is once you start doing this and you start following this method, you're going to see your engagement go straight up. You're going to see people start connecting with you consistently. You're going to start seeing your interactions increase. You're going to start seeing more people in your inbox. You're going to start seeing people leaving you messages, sending you emails, visiting your website. All right. This is a process. I'm telling you, it works. You got to be consistent with it. All these steps. Okay. So just a quick recap so far. We choose your platform, specify your audience, specific audience. outline their pain points, decide on your emotional triggers, develop core content, minimum 3 per week, create conversation starters, minimum 2 to 3 per week. Number 7 is commit to warm engagement. All right. Commit to warm engagement. Warm engagement means you are committed to investing your time and energy into the people that invest their time and energy into you. All right. A big problem that a lot of online marketers have is they put out their core content. They just put the content out there, but they don't connect to the people that show up for them. This is something where you have to commit to, because if you don't make it a commitment, you don't put it on your schedule, you don't make it a priority in your day, you won't do it. You won't, because there's so much to do in a day, right? And it's so easy just to forget about it. Committing to warm engagement is just taking time to go in and connect to the people that connected to you. If you do a live video, once the video is done, go back into the comments and interact with some of the people that commented with you. If you're putting out your podcast, like I'm thinking about Jamie. Jamie's puts out her podcast. She gets people connected to her. She's taking time to commit to them. You're not trying to manipulate these people. You're not trying to coerce these people. You're not trying to sell to these people. You're just genuinely connecting. And this is also why I love doing live video versus pre-recorded video, because you know what, y'all, I appreciate you. I do. You guys have options in your day, man. Your time is so valuable. Your time is the most valuable thing that you have on this earth, and you can't get it back. And of all the things that are going on in your world today, and of all the things that you have the opportunity to do, you're choosing to sit here for the last 48 minutes of your time and listen to me talk. I appreciate that. You need to appreciate that about your audience. If you've got people listening to you, paying attention to you, reading your blogs, watching your videos, listening to your podcast, and they're investing their time and energy into you, you need to appreciate that. And you need to recognize that you have to earn that every single day. You've got to earn it. And so when I think about this, why I love live video, I love looking at your faces. I love seeing your comments. I want to interact with you. I want to take time to dig in with you, and I want you to make you feel like we're just hanging out, having coffee together. That's the idea. And that's why I love live video. All right. So commit to warm engagement is just connecting to your audience in a warm, personal, and genuine way. And that's a commitment. Because I'm telling you, you can do all these steps that I've given you so far to attract the right people to you. But if you don't take time to actually warmly engage the people that are engaging with you, then what's the point? Jackie says, how do you manage the number of people commenting on your posts? You might need to rephrase that question for me, Jackie. Like, how do I are you talking about, like, how do I handle all, like, if I have hundreds of people commenting, do I go through and interact with all of them? Yeah, I do. This is a business. That, to me, that's working my business. It's no different than, like, let's say I just created a brand new store. I just invested thousands and thousands of dollars on product, on material, on the storefront, on the building, and I got this brand new store. It's branded, it's beautiful, it's right on Main Street, it's ready to go. And I open up the front door for business because I'm so ready to make this business succeed and make some money. And then as soon as I open up the doors, I go into the back hallway, the back room, and I sit there and fiddle on my phone while all my customers come in, and I don't engage with anybody. That's what a lot of y'all are doing with your content. You open up the doors for your business by going out and sharing some content. All these customers came walking in, and you went and hid in the back room instead of actually coming out and engaging with them. That's what you did. Or, to Jackie's question, how do you manage the number of people coming on your post? Another thing that some of y'all will do is you open up the doors for your business and you stand there, and the first 5 or 10 people come in, and you're talking to them, and they're having a conversation. It takes time and it takes energy, and they're asking you questions, and you're engaging with them. And you're like, man, this is taking up a lot of time. I think I'd rather just go sort inventory in the back or start planning for my next product launch. So I'm just going to go in the back and work. And another 200 customers comes in the front door, and you didn't engage with the rest of them because you didn't feel like it, because that took you time and energy and work. Kim said it'd be like speaking at an event to an event if people were in line to talk to you at the end, and you just, yeah, right. I mean, it's this is a part of working your business. And honestly, it's one of the reasons why I'm tremendously successful at what I do, is because I do commit time and energy to anyone who pays attention to me. And I always have done that. And honestly, that's how I got many of you as clients, if not all of you as clients, is because at some point in time, every single one of you had a personal interaction with me. It was intentional. I connected to you. I asked you questions. It was genuine. It was sincere. I want to know what's going on with you. I followed up with you. I checked in with you. I greet you every morning when you come into my live videos. And eventually you said, Justin, I'd like to get on the phone with you. I'd love to. Let's chat. And then we scheduled time to chat. And then on the phone, on the chat, I dive into you and I connect to you and I inspire you and I give you a vision, right? Is it wise to hire someone to help with this aspect of your business, engaging clients? If your business, like Jackie, I know your blog is busy. If you have a lot of, like, more comments and more interactions than you can keep up with, it might be good for you to hire a VA to help you with that. It's just got to make sure you just got to make sure the approach is genuine, because it's the genuine approach is what attracts people to you. And then honestly, it's what most people don't do. And I'll tell you what, customer service is a lost art right now, y'all. Like, you go into a retail establishment nowadays, customer service is gone. And people are craving that, man. I think they're craving sincerity. They're craving genuine help. They want you to, like, I don't know about you, but I go into a business and I'm we live in an Amazon world. I can get anything that I want on Amazon, literally just about anything that I want on Amazon, and I can have it delivered to my door in 2 days. So if I take time to go hop in my truck and drive to a store to get something in a store, there's only one thing that that store can offer me that Amazon can't, and that is a physical person that I can talk to that can help me. So when I go into a store and I pass by employees that won't even look at me, let alone talk to me, and if you do ask them for help, they're like, "Yeah," and they act like you're bothering them. It's like, come on, people. I mean, you are the only thing that's keeping your business alive is your ability to serve people. Because, and I mean, I've gone into stores just because I wanted to go and support local business, and I go in there, and the customer service is freaking awful. And I'm like, you know what? Why am I even here talking to you? And I'll pull out my phone. I'm like, I can buy this on Amazon right now, and I'll buy it and be like, see you later. It'll be home in 2 days. I mean, so going to us that work online businesses, we've got to understand that people are craving that interaction. They're craving that attention. They're craving that connection. You got to make time for that. It's a decision. It's a commitment. So commit. That's why I use that word. Commit to warm engagement. These last three I'm going to go through real fast, y'all, because I've given you the core of the important stuff so far. Number 8 is look for a personal connection. Look for a personal connection. A personal connection is I'm simply looking for an opportunity to connect to someone deeper. So if someone drops, for example, let's say somebody's watching one of my videos and I'm giving them whatever I'm giving them for today. And someone leaves me a comment that says something like, "Man, I really needed this today, Justin. Thanks so much." Or, "This content was so for me today." I get those comments often. That is an opportunity to connect. So I can go in there and be like, "Awesome. I'm so glad, Tony, that you enjoyed the content. Can you tell me today what was the most impactful part of what I shared? I'd love to know." "Man, Justin, it was that piece about committing to warm engagement. I really, really need to make that a priority. Thank you so much for just laying that on my plate." You're so welcome. I'm so glad that I was impactful for you. And so then what I'm going to do, that's number 8, is I'm looking for an opportunity to personally connect and actually talk to people. All right. Which leads me to number 9 is look for an opportunity to invest in them. All right. Look for an opportunity to invest in them. So what I'll do, so if I have a personal connection and Tony says to me, man, Justin, it's that warm engagement. I really got to be better with that. And I thank you so much for challenging me with that today. Absolutely, you're welcome, man. I hope this is helpful too. I hope your Friday's amazing. So I'm connecting them personally. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm like, I want to know who Tony is. I want to know who he's about. So I'll go to Tony and I'll look up Tony's profile. I'll check out his business. I'll Google his name. I'll try to figure out what his business is. I'll try to figure out what type of content he's sharing and where. And let's say I do a little research, a little quick research on Tony, and I find out that he's doing live videos as well. And so I go in, I watch a couple of his live videos because I want to see what he's talking about, what kind of engagement he's getting, and what he's missing, because he already told me he's not interacting with these people. So I can go out and watch his videos. I can get an idea what he's about. I can see some things that he may or may not be doing right with his brand, and I can get an idea for how I could help him. And then so I've just basically looked for an opportunity to invest in him. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to number 10. Number 10 is connect offline. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into Messenger. I'm going to go into Messenger and I'm going to find Tony. I might give it 24 hours after our interaction. I'm going to go in and I'm going to go to Messenger. I'm going to find Tony on Messenger. I'm going to send him a voice message. I'm going to say, Tony, what's up, man? It's Justin Kaplan. Listen, buddy, I just want to let you know I appreciate you again. Loved having you on my broadcast yesterday. It's so encouraging to have people like yourself that just add value to the room and support the message. So I'm so glad you were in there yesterday. I took some time just to check you out and just see what you're up to. Watched a couple of your live videos, man. I love the video that you did on Blank. I just want to see a bit of what you're doing. I checked out your branding, but man, I got some ideas for you. You're doing so much of the right stuff, and I really feel like there's just a couple of small adjustments if you made in your marketing, it would make such an impact on people's ability to engage with you, connect with you, and hire you. If you're interested, man, I just love to chat with you, just get to know you a little bit, and share some of the ideas that I have that I think would really, really help your business and your marketing. Let me know. Is that something you'd be interested in? And I'd hang up and I'd leave the message. I'm ended right there, and that feels way open ended, right? But that's genuine. Does that feel salesy? I'm not being salesy. I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm genuinely going to help you. I'm looking for an opportunity to invest in you. Because what'll happen is Tony will get that message and Tony will be like, holy crap, this Justin guy is for real. He took time to look at my stuff, look the whole thing all over, watch my videos, and now he's got ideas. This guy's can help me. Heck yeah. And so if I leave you that message with, is that something that you would be interested in? You're going to feel like a jerk if you don't respond to that. That's the idea, right? Let me give you the alternative. The alternative would be, so I'd love to chat with you, man. Just let me know. I offer a free preliminary consultation. If you're interested in that, you could go to my website and you could fill out that form. And I would love to have a free strategy call with you. If that's something that you're interested in, I'd love to be able to talk to you. Are you going to respond to that one? No. Because why? It's too formal. It feels like you're trying to sell me something. I feel like you're trying to get me on your website. You're trying to get something from me. That's what most people are doing. Genuine. I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm not trying to get you on my website. I'm just telling you that, listen, Tony, man, I just checked out a few of your things. You're doing so much of the right stuff. I feel like if you just make a couple of small changes, it would make such a difference. Man, I just love to chat with you. Love to chat with you, man. It'd be awesome just to be able to get to know you a little bit, hear about what you're doing, and I'd love to just share some of the thoughts that I have with you. Is that something you'd be interested in? I'm gonna get a message back pretty quick. It's gonna be like, heck yeah, dude, I'd love that. When can we talk? Like, let's get on the phone in 30 minutes. You got it. Let's do it. That's what'll happen. And I know that's what'll happen because that's what happens with every single time I send that message. It works. It's in the phrasing, it's in the wording, and it's in the mindset behind the conversation. I am genuinely not trying to sell him something. I am genuinely trying to help him. And I will get on the phone with him and I will ask him questions about, tell me about you, man. Tell me about what you're doing. What got you started in this business in the first place? Tell me about what you do. What do you love about it? What do you hate about it? What struggles do you have? Well, this is what I see. I see if you do this, this is what I would just, I'm going to just tell him everything. This is how I would do what I would do. And what's going to happen is at the end of that conversation, Tony's going to be like, man, this is so helpful. Can you tell me how I can work with you? Like, what do you do? And I'm like, well, I'm glad you asked. So what I do is I work with startup entrepreneurs and I really teach them how to take a idea and a talent or an ability or a gift and turn it into a profitable and scalable brand. You've got so much potential, man. Your website needs to be improved. Your content needs more strategy. Your branding is a little bit amateur, a little bit do-it-yourselfer. I would love to get my hands on it. If you're interested, I can give you some details about what it'd be like to work with me. Please do. So this is what it would look like, and I'll tell him. And then it's up to him whether he wants to hire me. But if he doesn't, we still had a valuable conversation, and I still have a great relationship. And even if he's like, "Man, I just know I need to be saving for this. This is something I'm definitely going to do," but I'll be connecting with you. That's awesome. I can't wait to see you more around the web because my mission today was not to sell you something. My mission today was to serve you and serve you well. If you decide to hire me, awesome. But if you don't, that's fine because eventually you will. Eventually you will. If you get to a point, because I'm going to remind you of this, y'all. Listen, whenever someone decides in their mind that they are ready for help and they're ready to invest in help, they will almost always go back to someone who's been helpful to them in the past. Put yourself in that position and be that source. Invest in people, engage with people, support people, serve people. The audience that you have in front of you needs help, they need information, they need you. Show up for them, show up for you, because if you take a minute and just stop worrying about what can I sell, what can I sell, what can I sell, and you start thinking about who can I serve today, who can I help today, who can I provide value to today, if you go with that mission and you go with that focus, you're going to find yourself engaging exactly the right people who need what you have to offer, and they're going to ask you how they can pay you instead of you trying to ask them when they're going to pay you. Serve those folks to a level where they're just like they're drawn to you, they're ready to invest in you, and they come to that conclusion on their own. And that's the best position you can find yourself in your position or in your business. That's connect offline. All right. The last three I'm going to give you are just it all depends on how these conversations pan out. But number 11 is to suggest an interaction. So I told you connect offline. So like the example with Tony, I say to Tony, man, listen, I found an opportunity to invest in him. I share with him, my thoughts on what he's like doing. And then I say, would you be interested in having a chat with me? I'm suggesting an interaction. I'm offering that up. And it's how you do that is getting people to actually commit to a phone call with you. Number 12 is a warm conversation, meaning it's not a salesy conversation. It's not a structured conversation. Do not tell a potential prospect that you're going to do a 30-minute discovery call or a 45-minute introductory consultation. I don't say that when I'm talking to a new prospect. I just say, you want to have a chat with me? I'd love to talk to you. Let's get on Zoom. I don't put a time frame to it. And then if usually, heck yeah, I'd love it. I'd be like, would you rather talk on the phone or would you rather get on Zoom? We can do Zoom if you want. Let's do Zoom. I'd love to see your face. Let's do it. It's super chill. It's super. I don't. It's not. I'm gonna put you for an hour on my calendar. I'm not a clock watcher. I just want to talk to you. I want to understand you. And usually my time is structured. Usually I get someone off the phone within an hour, right? But it's not presented that way. It's not presented as my free consultation or my strategy call. It's just I want to chat with you. Warm conversation. And then the last one, this is a big one. Number 13 is a fearless recommendation. A fearless recommendation, meaning that you are so comfortable with what you do and how you do it, and so confident in what you do and how you do it, that you have zero problem explaining that to anyone who asks. You have got to be able to be fearless and confident in the way that you present what you do. So if I have a conversation with someone and I'm reaching out to them, investing in them, I'm pouring into them, and at the end of that conversation, they're like, "Man, Justin, can you tell me how I can work with you? What do you do? How do you do it?" Absolutely, I'd love to talk to you about that. So what I do is I do this, and I go in and I explain what I do. I explain how I work with people. I explain the steps that we go through. I explain the goals that we're going to have along the way. I explain what you should expect by working with me. And when we're done, this is what you can expect. This is what you have, and this is where you'll be. And I'm confident about that. I am confident in how I do what I do, and I have zero struggle communicating it. This is a problem that some of you guys have. Is you may do all of these things right, but if you get down to the point where someone asks you, how can I work with you? What's that look like? If you struggle to answer that question, if you lack confidence in your ability to answer that question, you've lost that potential client. Because imagine I go through all of these things right, and let's say this is you that's on the phone with me. I do all these things right, and I get to the end of that conversation, like, Justin, can you tell me, how I can work with you, what that would look like? Yeah, absolutely. So what I do is I do branding, and I do websites, and I do coaching and stuff too. So so what I can do is I help you figure your brand out, and we'll do like your logo and business cards and stuff, and so we'll work on a website together, and figure out what that looks like. And then I do coaching, so I kind of help you figure out how to take your branding and your website, and how to use it, how to go on social media, and do that, and we'll figure out pricing. And so I'll basically help you build your business. Is that something you'd be interested in? How many are signing up for that? How many times did I say it's rambling, right? It's like, no, man. It's like, you're not signing up for that. Why? Because did I lack, or because it completely lacked clarity and confidence? Boring, boring, right? But instead, you're like, Justin, tell me what you do. Yeah, what I do is I specialize in you. I specialize in startup entrepreneurs. And what I want to do is I want to take you through exactly what I believe is necessary for you to turn your gift or your idea or your ability into a profitable and scalable brand. We're going to start with your messaging, because your messaging is crucial. If you get that wrong, everything else will be wrong as well. We need to figure out, what is your brand name going to be? We need to do research. We're going to figure out your tagline, your mission statement, your value statement. We're basically going to help you communicate what your brand is, why it was created, and how we're going to use that to engage an audience in an effective and meaningful way. So we got to get your brand messaging correct. Once we do that, we're going to go into your visuals. Your logo is crucial. Your colors matter. The attitude and the personality of your brand needs to be defined, because we need to know how you want to connect with your audience. So I'm going to help you figure that out. Once we get your messaging and your brand visuals established, then we're going to go into building your website. Your website's the most important aspect of your business. It should be an employee of your business. It should work for you. It should drive traffic for you. It should engage your audience for you. It should generate revenue for you. I'm going to build you a fully custom website that's going to blow your competition's mind. It's going to be set up to work for you while you're alive and while you're sleeping. It's going to generate traffic for you, drive sales for you, and give you a place where all the very best of what you have to offer is positioned to be engaged with. And then I'm going to teach you strategy, because all these tools don't matter if you don't know how to use them. I'm going to teach you how to use them, where to use them, when to use them, so that you know exactly what you need to do with all these things that we're going to build together to go out and engage a specific audience of people that need what you have to offer. And I'm going to teach you how to generate sales. Then we're going to talk about how to be a business owner. I don't just build businesses, I build business owners. You need to understand how to run a viable business, leveraging the tools that I've given you, being a great marketer, attracting paying clients, and giving you an opportunity to scale a business that's going to blow your mind down the road. What questions do you have? And is there anything that I'm missing? Some of y'all are slapping your phone with your credit card right now, trying to figure out how to pay for that. Right? Confidence. Now listen, you know, I can rip that off the top of my head, but I can rip that off the top of my head because I have said that a million times in various ways. And I have to twist that a little bit depending on who I'm talking to. The person that would get that version is a Ruby, is a business focused person, a strategic person, someone who needs straight to it, give it to me straight. That's what I need. That's what I want. If I'm talking to a Pearl personality that's a little bit more relationship, a little bit slower, a little bit blah, 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 a little bit quieter, I need to slow that down. We're going to spend time together creating this gift that you have. It's going to be so much fun. We're going to be able to work together. We're going to be able to create your products and your services. We're going to be able to give your audience a meaningful and genuine place that they can really come in and connect to you and engage with you. It's going to be so awesome. And then we're going to spend time in coaching. I'm going to talk to you about strategy. I'm going to make sure I keep you out of overwhelm. I'm going to make sure that every single day you know exactly what you need to be doing and how, so that you don't get frustrated with the business building process, because it can be frustrating. But my mission is to keep you out of overwhelm. What questions do you have? And does that feel like everything that you need right now? That was softer, right? Because the person that I might be talking to, if softer, if I'm talking to a Jamie Kirschner, an Emerald type, they need facts. All right. The first thing we're going to do is this piece. We're going to get your marketing language crystal clear. That's going to take us approximately 14 days. So our first 2 weeks is going to be focused on that. Once we get past that, we're going to go into logo. It'll take me 5 days to get your first concept done. I'm going to give you 2 additional concepts to think about. Well, my mission will be to have your marketing and your logo and branding done within the first 30 days. That way we can move into your website. Your website will probably take roughly 2 months. That depends on the flow of content. I'm going to need you to work on blank, 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 and blank. I will be working on this, 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 and this. This is how you can connect to me. This is what I'm going to need from you. But if we can have that mapped out and that effective timeline, we should be able to have all your marketing done, all your branding done, and your website built within 3 months. Once we get to that point, then we're going to talk strategy. I want to be able to brainstorm with you about exactly what you need to be selling, how, where, and for what price, so that we know where we want to position your content, where we want to position your offers, and I want to help you develop a great launch strategy that's going to attract your paying clients. Jamie's all about give me facts, give me dates, give me schedule, give me structure. So she can feel a Jamie personality needs to feel like I am fully in control of this process, and she can trust that I am not going to waste her time or money or energy. Right? So personality is huge with this. You can't just give a blanketed one size fits all pitch to every person you talk to, because every person might need to hear that a little bit differently. But overall, the most important piece on this is back to this 13, my fearless recommendation. I can recommend my service to you confidently and comfortably, no matter who you are, no matter what type of personality you are, because I am confident in what I do. And I am crystal clear on my process, what works, what doesn't, what steps we take, in what order. And I have zero variation in that. It's my process. This is what we go through. So that fearless recommendation is something, if you can't confidently communicate that to a potential prospect, if somebody walked up to you today and said, can you tell me what you do and how I could work with you? If you can't confidently answer that question right now, you've got to work on that, because that's essential. Because if honestly, what's the point of doing all this other work, steps 1 through 12, if you can't confidently answer that question at the end? Because that's when they pay you. Now, for those guys that have been doing marketing or content for a while, if you're struggling to get paying clients, I guarantee it's because there's one or a few of these steps that you are lacking. You're either missing it completely or you're uncomfortable with it. So my challenge for you is to look at these 13 steps and ask yourself, what am I missing? Because you're probably doing some of this right. It needs to be done. All of it needs to be done right. And in this order, honestly. Shirley, number 5 was develop core content, minimum 3 per week. All right. So just quick recap. Choose your platform. Number 1, specify the audience you want to engage. Number 2, outline their pain points. Number 3, decide your emotional triggers. Number 4. Number 5 is develop core content, minimum 3 per week. Number 6, post conversation starters, minimum 2 to 3 per week. 7, commit to warm engagement. Number 8, look for a personal connection. Number 9, look for an opportunity to invest in them. Number 10, connect offline. 11, suggest an interaction. 12, warm conversation. 13, fearless recommendation. That is my exact process for how I get you folks to pay me. My exact process for turning social media interactions into paying clients. There's not a bit about that that's salesy. There's not a bit about that that's manipulative. It is genuine, it is real, and it is highly, highly effective. I dare you to apply it. I dare you to take this Friday and dig through those 13 steps and ask yourself, where are my gaps? What do I need to fix? What do I need to improve? What do I need to get better at? Because if you can nail that process, you will have more clients than you have the ability to put on your schedule. That's my mission. That's my goal. That's my desire for you. All right, guys, I'm going to leave you with that for today. I know an hour and 15 minutes is so much of your time, and I appreciate your time. You're all amazing. I hope you have a spectacular day. I hope you're intentional with your day today. Be a good steward of the gifting that God has given you, the assignments that He's given you today. Have a beautiful Friday. Have a great weekend, and I will see you guys all around the web. Right? Take care. God bless y'all, and I'll see y'all later.